it's a different ballgame. On average, many women get their maternity leave just about 75 to 90 days. In fact, during that last year's conversation, I got to find out that in some places, they only give 60 days paid maternity leave. But anyway, moving on from that to the big one here in Port Harcourt this morning as we are on the office beat. Now, those of you who have lived and worked maybe 5-10 years in one establishment or the other, you would have come across a colleague of yours who has now become a Mama Ejima. Oh, congratulations! My God has done it for you. You have a baby. You know, you have even twins. It's cute. It's a fine boy, fine girl. But there is one little problem. One little problem. That's what we're talking about this morning. You see, and that problem is when Mama Ejima is ready to come back to work. When Mama Anita, like the way they call it these days, Mommy Favor, Mommy James, Mommy Light. Oh, speaking of it, we have a Mama Light in our office. Anyway, point here is when that woman is ready to come back, very often there are no places to keep her baby if the husband is working as well, and 95% of the time you are the very last person to get to the office in the morning, because you have to breastfeed your baby, you have to do everything, and now you need to carry this baby to work, or in some cases drop the baby at crèche. But you are not safe, right? Because you're like, if I leave my young lovely child at that crèche, who knows what will happen to that child? But you can't carry the child to the office, which is why I'm asking this question. Should establishments like yours, the company where you work, let's say it's a bank, let's say it's an oil company, let's say it's a media house like we have here this morning, let us just say that wherever you are working, you need to be there, you are a good worker, but you don't have a place to keep your baby. Should these establishments, these in quotes, nice schools, nice hospitals, and nice oil companies, and nice media radio stations, should they make or provide nurseries, a crèche, somewhere safe, somewhere nice and lovely for the babies of staff members?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Hello, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Alright, so you know the numbers. I need to start dialing right now. Smash your phones as hard as you can this throwback, because we're talking about our babies and our workspaces. 017-923-0003, 0817923-0007. Scroll along the social media platforms at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and on X, and then get to WhatsApp 0809-030-6416. Muriel is the first caller, and Muriel is in Okrika. Muriel, good morning to you.
Hi, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning, Muriel.
Thank you. Jude, there was a time I heard on radio, I don't know if it's on the radio or maybe your sister station that heard, a survey was carried out, and they tried to monitor nursing mothers that work in establishments where they have nurseries in their organizations and ones that maybe have to put their children in daycare. And they discovered that nursing mothers and their children are close to them performed optimally. In fact, they were so comfortable to work even over time. Honestly, I agree with you, Jude, that establishments have nurseries. Because when a mother, you see that you don't even need to give her meat. Trust me, Jude, I have kids. After giving birth to children, if you did an operation, you went through cesarean section. If you give birth normally, and there were no complications, you don't even need to stay in the house for a long time, a very long time. 1 month at most, you're your feet.
Okay.
As long as you can go to work your child, and there's a nursery your office
Office.
that's taking care of your child. You can just breathe in, breathe out. You can even do breastfeeding,
Baby friendly.
exclusive breastfeeding,
Yeah.
you know. Yes, you can. You just move in when
And
you're
come.
free. Even though you're not free, you just take out 2 minutes, 5 minutes. You check your baby. Your baby is close to you. That's far. So I think every establishment should have nurseries.
All right. Ola is speaking to us some element. Ola, do you think establishments should provide nurseries for their staff members?
Good morning, Jude.
Good
I
morning.
think it's a nice idea, but then as a Nigerian or as a human being, especially Nigerians for that matter, the abuse will be inevitable.
What
The abuse? Will be too much.
What
Now,
abuse?
take examples. The churches,
Okay.
in our churches, the create room for children department, and you still see some parents still walk out after every 20-30 minutes to go and check how far. Are they knocking my child on the head and so on? So imagine you now, you're on the show now, you have your child just 300 meters away from you in a nursery, and you put us on commercial or music break just to go and pity if the child is crying and so on like that. Nigerians are full of abuses, and I do not think any serious organization should allow such. If I have a child and the child is too small to stay at home, send the child to the house. So there's no distraction. The mother is working,
Do you send a 7-month-old or 8-month-old baby to the boarding house?
Dude, there are the house that will accommodate them. I remember my younger sisters went there even a lot more earlier than that.
Okay, they're called creches, right? We're good. Well, thank you very much. Now we have a proper conversation and debate. After the break, we'll get back to you.
The show continues after this.
from. It is Hello Paul Tucker, and this morning on the Office Beat, we talk about one of those rarely often, a swept under the rug conversations. So, nursing mother has returned, but a lot of people do not pay close attention to the baby, the big elephant, or not so big elephant in the room. The mother has returned. The mother is now demanded to meet the highest standards that she can produce. They want her to meet her quota. They want KPIs to be met. They want targets done. They want members, phone numbers. They want customers to be satisfied. But how she's managing with her baby, maybe a 10-month-old, right, really doesn't matter to many establishments. I will say all establishments, because in this country, I found out that there are a few establishments that actually have a nursery. It's a kind of crutch for their staff members. And what is even interesting is that they hire staff for that place. A nurse, right? And a teacher. It's about a 5-man or five woman strong team. And on a bad day, right, in that particular establishment, right, it's in Abuja, right? On a bad day, they have anywhere from 5 to 15 babies, right? Like I said, 5 to 15 babies. So it's not like, everybody in the building just gave birth at once. No. So that means those 5 children, on the average, right, whilst they'll be coming to the center maybe for about 4 or 5 months until maybe mommy can make suitable arrangements, will be monitored, catered to by very capable hands. Like I said, it's a 5-man team in that nursery, in that crèche, and this is paid for by the company. So when your maternity leave is done, you come to work and you can come safely and know that when there's a break of some sort, you can readily rush down, maybe breastfeed for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, maybe play with your baby, bond with your baby as a mother. It's pretty good. And you're also in close proximity. Maybe the baby starts to develop a fever or something happens. You can from there rush the baby to the hospital, as opposed to having the baby far away from where you are at work. And the responsibility is now split between you and your partner if you have one. But there is an undertone to this, and that is the distraction from work. Because if you know anything about nursing mothers, is that 99.9% of the time their minds are on their babies. So even though she's physically at work, she may not be able to give you 100% the best of her abilities. Or are we just making assumptions here? What do I know? I'm not a nursing mother. But let's open the phone lines and ask you to join this conversation. The numbers to call 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007. At Nigeria Info PH, is where you will find us on Facebook and on X. At my volume of your radio set, refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see or hear, please do not make unsubstantiated and unverified claims. And very importantly, please keep your comments civil.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so let's get to WhatsApp now and read some comments, and then we'll get to the phone lines shortly. All right, so first comment here on WhatsApp. Once again, the WhatsApp number is 00903064160, 00903064160. Joe, good morning. I don't think the companies need to have crutches in their office spaces or even rent one close by. You see, the woman is meant to have sorted all of those things during the maternity leave. I'm paying you to do a job, and if that job is not well done, I'm losing money. Don't get me wrong, I believe women should have more time, but I'd rather have women have more time than to have a baby close by work that would distract the mother. All right, fair enough. All of these, ladies and gentlemen, are very logical, and very sound arguments. Want to get to hear from you. Very simple question: should establishments create, make, facilitate daycare centers, crèche centers, nurseries for their staff members? Zion is speaking to us from GRA. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That is what we call innovation. Innovation. Dare to be different. Excellence. Idea that was put into play. Credit for the mother. It is necessary. Every organization should have that department. Funny enough, when this staff was about to get married, during the wedding, the office participated. They sang galas, they bought gifts, and everything made the wedding so glamorous. You see, not so? Now she got pregnant and delivered. Office now reject her. Go take care of yourself and your pikin. No carry and come in here, can't disturb us. How does it sound?
But that's the way a lot of women have been coping for, I would say, better part of 4 decades.
But that was wrong. That thing has frustrated a lot of children, have separated a lot of marriages, have affected a lot of women. What you call depression. Because they are office working, they are distracted, another mind is at home. Is it not so? They are working. Why they got the child at home? They start, before they have a nanny, underline that word, some go extra mile. Some get anything because of what my work, and just bring her, make she come stay. They don't even vet this nanny. And what happened? Either the nanny is abusing child. So if the office have that department called crèche, at least every 1 hour or 30 minutes, the mother can stroll, have a peck, a kiss, or inside with the baby, and walk back to her office, continue. You like it or not, it will grow productivity.
But that's what Zion. I'm sorry, I don't know if you listened to the message I read. That was Felix earlier. He says if you do that, even the first caller, second caller, or last says, if you do that, people will abuse it. People will go in every 2.5 minutes. Make I go play with the baby.
We are too quick to paint negativity in this part of the world. We always want to paint everything negative. So that's why I use that word I call innovation. Be innovative. Be dynamic. Be competent. Be envious in what you do. Don't just say because other companies get them, we will not go get them, and then we abuse them, and we are too money conscious. A lot of us are we are worshiping money. We value money more than our children. Companies should adopt to these measures. State House of Assembly and the Federal House of Assemblies to enact a law. We should have it. The truth is this: most of the laws and our activities do not even mirror our African cultures and traditions. If the animals can be petting their own children, how much more we human beings?
That's an
Look at the
interesting
kangaroo.
That's
the pocket a kangaroo picking the waka everywhere. She abuses the baby being pocket there. I'm talking about the kangaroo. For once, let's do things that represent us. Every organization should have that crèche. Mothers should born to their children.
All right, Zion, thank you very much. It's interesting you made an analogy with animals, because in certain societies, animal societies, that's actually obtainable. wild dogs have that same system where the puppies are being looked after by a group of adults. The same thing with the pups, lion cubs rather. The same thing with hyenas. They are all looked after by a group whilst the main group are busy working. Okonkwo is speaking to us from Mumukuta. Okonkwo, good morning to you. Welcome, please.
Good morning, Brother Jude.
Welcome.
It's the best way for institutions, companies, industries, and other agencies to get excellent services from breastfeeding mothers. Is it not to get their children close to them? Because when a breastfeeding mother is somewhere working and her baby is at home, Brother Jude, don't you think that there will be many service mistakes? Because she'll be there, but all her mind will be in where her baby is. But if that baby is close, she can check time and know the time of breastfeeding the baby. She goes there. After breastfeeding the baby, her full mind will be there. Okay. So give that agency the best.
So you support that they should have a crèche close by to the office?
So, thank you for this topic. I think many organizations will learn from it.
Ibiso on Orderly Road. Ibiso, let's hear from you, please. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, please.
To me, in the Western world that you're talking of, I believe they have how they structure it and pay the nannies there in the office. Maybe they will take it indirectly from this people's salary without telling them. But here in Nigeria, where you say that if you apply such thing, it's not a bad idea. But how are they going to fix that question? Because if somebody is in the office taking care of these children, I say that every 1 hour they should go and see their children. Fine and good, because it's good for them to be more closer to the children. But how are they going to pay them? Is the company that is paying them, or this individual that will pay them?
Yes, that's a very genuine question. The remuneration. Let me ask you, so if it were your wife, would you be supportive of maybe a token taken from her salary, or it should be one of the benefits of working with that company?
That's why I say in the Western world they structure everything without telling you that we are taking so amount of money from your salary. You understand? Like there. So
hello, Ibiso. Hello, Ibiso. Hello. Good morning. Oh dear. Seems to be a bit of a disconnect there. All right. So once again, the numbers to call 017-923-0003, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0007. WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Nigerian modern day mothers, we forget their babies there because of baby wahala. Ola George with that submission. All right, this one here says, good morning. I'm in total support of the idea of having a crèche right in the office where a mother can go spend 10-15 minutes to play with the child. Let's be honest, it's not every woman that will be pregnant and all of them have children at the same time in an office. The workload can be shared. How does a company grow if people don't feel like they are a family? This is one of the ways that certain companies can keep their staff members with them for a long time. It's called brand and customer loyalty. They should do this if only Nigerians will listen. All right, Anita says, if only Nigerians will listen. Ibiso is back. Ibiso, welcome. Apologies for earlier.
Yes, as I was saying, you used to hear that if you are an ambassador, you are going for a foreign country, you say you should bring 3 of your children, housemates, and your wife. And it's like they are on payroll. Sometimes you are going for cross posting, leaving your country to another yes, for company work. There's also this thing, but they've already structure it. Now you ask me if it is my wife. The thing is, yes, if it is my wife and the company is structured like that, but if they don't structure it like that, you understand? It's good I carry my load on my head. No need to disturb the company. to do that for me. That's why I said that in that other area, they sponsor everything that you that is working there will get that benefit. If your children are not feeling fine, the company or the take care of their health,
health insurance and stuff like that.
But here that they didn't structure it, you got to meet them to do it. That's my own take, because it's good for us to know what we are going for. Let us structure it and spell it out for the people that that's why I'm employing you. Look at the benefit, you get from this company that you're working in Nigeria Info. Let not be at the end of the day, you will now have a problem with it. But he didn't tell me that this thing that you are doing, I will be the person that will pay this thing at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
So it's good. You understand it very well before you go into it.
Well, Ibiso, thank you very much. That's another interesting side to this conversation. What were the perks? Did you see the contract? It should be spelt clearly in black and white, according to Ibiso. Let them know, let the husband, let the wife know that, look, if I start to work with this company, if so and so thing gets to happen, this is what I'll be getting. The perks of joining that firm. That could be it. Now we have a message from Anonymous. It says, if an employer wants to get the best from an employee, they need to permit the employee to show up as fully as possible. A female employee who has become a mother cannot turn off motherhood if all is well with her, just to satisfy her employer. And it is wicked and unreasonable to expect or compel her to do so. The fact that women coped with it in the past doesn't mean that we should be condemned to continue that way. It is not good for them, and it is not good for the children. I understand that funding a crèche might be an issue for some employers, but as a woman, I will be very concerned about continuing to pay salary to a woman who can comfortably ignore her child's existence. So it's difficult. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that's what a lot of our mothers, a lot of our sisters, aunties, cousins, nieces are doing today. Some of them listening right now, they have maybe an 8-month-old, a 10-month-old, maybe even a year-old, right? Somewhere far from where they are working. Yes, they have to work so they can provide the shoes and the baby food that costs not 10,000 naira a can these days. They want to be able to provide those things for the children. But the office where they're working, or maybe even the businesses where they are at, doesn't allow that to happen. It doesn't. So what do they do? What do they do? Now, this one reads, which Western world will they take money from your salary without informing you? There is transparency in their dealings. Every cent of your salary is accounted for. Just tell us that there are benefits if you have a baby, and take a cent without telling you. Well, I think that's what the caller, I think as Ibis was trying to say, that look, they'll let you know. It will be structured, right? You'll be told, okay, this is probably the benefits you are going to receive, yada yada yada. If there's going to be a surcharge, maybe from your pay, whatever, you'll probably be aware of it. I know a lot of times a lot of people don't read the fine print of their contracts. I didn't, but yeah, it does happen, right? It does happen that maybe it's being incorporated into your contract. So yes, you could ask questions. Now let's get back to Facebook now. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook, and on X at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. We're talking about daycare for babies. Should establishments provide nurseries? All right, okay. You should provide, if you are asking if you provide nurseries for the staff of that company. Should they? All right. Now, this is a very funny comment. Donald Meneka says, Nigeria, for you should find time to talk about the simplicity of SIM. Donald, I don't know if you missed the conversations earlier on the Morning Crossfire this morning, or the conversation on Hard Facts yesterday, or the conversations on the Morning Crossfire on Monday. Yeah. So, if you want more of those kind of conversations, well, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and obviously between 3 and 7 p.m., you get a ton of those, and you can also go through all the social media posts that we have. We cover Port Harcourt extensively. All right, so don't worry, you have anything concerning politics in Rivers State covered on Nigeria Info. All right, this one reads, hi, good morning. We need to even talk about the men who are also in this thing together. Yes, the men may not be breastfeeding, but there's a lot of workload that the men have to do during this period. So if a company where the wife works has a crèche, trust me, the men will be more than happy, because that means they don't necessarily have to be going to and fro from work to go and pick the children from crèche. It is a fantastic idea. The question is, how many offices, how many companies can actually facilitate such a venture? Maybe it's time these companies decide that rather than 3 months, as is the norm here in this country, the maternity leave should be increased to 6 months. Ha! Remember we had that conversation last year. I'm very sure we had this conversation last year. Right? We must have. 3 months, 6 months, 7 months. How many months should be given for maternity leave? Some say 3 is fine. Some say 2 is fine. But there are other things. Once again, if you're a man, right? If you're a man, you really, really should listen to the females on this particular issue, because you don't breastfeed, right? You don't try and coax the baby when the baby has colic. You don't bathe the baby. At least most men don't. I know some of my friends these days, and I'm very thankful and I'm very pleased. I'm inspired by that. Shout out to you, Osibare, by the way. Some men are actually bathing their babies. Some men are actually changing diapers. Some men are actually going to school to pick the babies. I'm talking about in crèche. I'm not talking about GSS1 or SS1 or primary 5. No. They are supporting their wives. And it's not easy. But maybe the men should actually listen to the women and what the women think would help them in this very crucial stage. So that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not a woman, but yeah, listen to the women. 017923, just about 2 minutes before we jump out of this conversation. 017923 0002, 017923 0007. All right, WhatsApp 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. All right, this one here is from Abby. Abby says, good morning, Jude. The question that always comes to my mind when I hear conversations like this is, who is going to enforce it? Is it the Nigerian government, where the labor laws are already weak? Do you know how many companies are abusing physically, psychologically, and also economically their staff members? Do you think it's these same companies who probably will not pay salaries on time, who will make workers work without breaks, sometimes 12 hours at a stretch? Is it these same companies you want to ask them to create a crèche for their staff members? They will laugh and walk away. Many businesses just want to take profit and go home. They do not care about the staff. Abigail doesn't seem very optimistic about some Nigerian businesses. Sad. Good morning, Jude. It is a necessity for establishment or a company to have a crèche, because the mom definitely will enroll in the crèche, but it is better if it's within her eye view. The company can make deductions fairly from the mom's salary. Francis Gifts. Well, maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. I don't know. But ultimately, I think the women should be considered and also listened to. Like someone said, they will be very worried if someone is taking salary regularly and not trying to pay very close attention to their child. My name is Jude. More conversations coming up. When we come out from the break, we have power updates. I'm very pleased that some of you have started sending your reports. I'm going to collect them and put them up in a mail like we do every Thursday. And then, let's not forget, it is Thursday, people. We are going to vibe like we haven't vibed in a while. It's the end of the month. Yeah, 28 days gone. Just 3 more days and we'll be saying goodbye to March. And trust me, I want you guys to march out in style, whether you got $1 million or not, so that you listen to us on Hello Port Harcourt.
For more talk, news and sports,